Hi everyone, here is part 3 of the story of my story. And again, I am not trying to slam anybody, I'm not trying to harm anybody in any way. This is my story, this is what happened to me, and I will not use any names. And for any new subscribers, during Christmas time, I was talking that me and my twin sister were separated. And, would they like to hear the story? And they would. And I will link part 1 and part 2 of the story. I'm just kind of telling them in short little bursts so it won't be so long. If I get really emotional, I'll break away and I'll come back. But this is the story of me. And I left it off where, now remember, like over 10 years has went by. Now we are young, very young adults. And I saw this person peeking around at me when me and my mom and my stepdad were shopping. And so there were still a lot that happened in between. I remember I had no ties. I hadn't seen her. I didn't know what she looked like or anything. There was no computers. There was no cell phones or anything like that. And the person that I did talk to, they would tell me their new phone number or where they lived, and if I tried to call, it would all get changed. I never did get to talk to her or anything. So we're young adults, and I went shopping that day with my mom and my stepdad. We was at a home improvement place, and we was about up toward the front, about to check out, and I looked over, and I saw someone peeking around a corner looking at me like this, and I'm like, oh, and like I say, I started freaking out. I'm like, Mama, I think that's Scrub. I think that's Scrub. I haven't seen her, so I wouldn't to for sure, but I knew she kind of looked like me. And, and I'm freaking out. By the time I got Mama to look, she's done gone. I go running over there. I can't find this girl that was peeking around at me or anything. So we leave, and it just so happens that my mom's best friend actually worked at that place. And she wasn't too for sure who it was, because this lady lived for a while with me and Mama when we was in that duplex and didn't hardly have nothing. So, she knew the story, but she had never met my sister. And so Mama called, and come to find out, it was really Grub that worked there. But guess what? Grub quit. And so she wasn't there no more. And growing up, when we were together, I was the shy one, she was the more outspoken one, but I wouldn't let nobody mess with her or me in school. And it was, we was not allowed to be in any same classes at school or anything, because Mama wanted us to be our own person. And one time, when we'd leave school, Grub would complain that her head hurt. And I'm like, what is wrong? And she said that some big boy kept picking on her and would go put his hand on her head and smack it, and it'd make her head hurt. So I'm like, you're going to show me who this is before school the next. So we're short, small, in stature and all. We're young, so before school I was like, who is it? So she pointed him out, and I walked up to him. I'm like, excuse me, are you the one that keeps hitting my sister in the head every day? He goes, yes I am. What you gonna do about it? I said this, and I smacked him across the head. And I guess he was surprised to see that coming. I said, don't you lay a hand on her again, because I'm now gonna do this to you every day. He didn't mess with her no more, and there'd be times, even at recess or whatever, we was not in the same classes, so we had our own set of friends. One day she came walking up to me and my friends, Grub did, and crying and upset. She said some girl had picked on her and called her an ugly name or something, and we're like, who is it? She showed us. We said, we'll be right back. We went, took care of that situation, came back, told her she's not going to mess with you no more. And that's kind of so, like, I wasn't there to protect her, to watch over her, or anything. And if I go back and think, would I change things? No, I wouldn't. Because being with Mama, and as poor as we were, it made me be strong, independent, and now I am very overprotective with my children, and I know it's because of things that has happened to me and stuff. But I wanted my children, I wanted to be a mom. And she's overprotective with her children too. So anyway, a little bit more time had went by, and we had found out that she had gotten married. We had also found out that they had hired security guards in case me or Mama decided to show up. Well, first of all, we didn't know nothing about it until afterwards. So it's just so wrong that my mom had to miss out on that. So let me back up a little bit. When I was with Mom, like, I was cut off from even my dad's family. Some of them sometime would call Mom to check on me and stuff, and I would go see my grandmother and spend the weekend with her and stuff. So the one aunt, my dad's sister, and I love this woman with all of my heart. The man she was married to, they had called Mama and wanted to know, did I need anything? And Mama told them I needed a coat, and they asked if they come and get me. They took me to this very nice mall and told me I could buy whatever I wanted. I felt like I was queen for the day. But my uncle had finally talked to my sister and told her, says, you're a young woman now. Your mother will always be your mother, and you need to go and see your mother. You don't have to be afraid, and you don't have to be scared if you go see her and all. You need to go and see her. So he arranged a meeting for Mama and my sister at a public place. And that's kind of how it started, that we were back seeing each other some. And now I'm going to tell you, we're different from daylight and dark. Totally different. And my sister, she didn't have the struggles because Daddy had his own business, and he had money. So, and where I had nothing, I'm still very frugal with the way that I live and stuff, and she is more extravagant. But our personalities, we are totally different. When people see us, that they think you just look like sisters, they're shocked when they find out that we are twins. And so, with my dad, it was different. My sister was coming around, and her husband, and I remember the first dinner that I was going to cook, because I was having a boy come over too. So I was trying to impress this guy. So I was just going to cook for everybody. Well, I made I fried some chicken, and and had the fixings to go with it, and when we sat around and everybody's plate was served, all of a sudden my mama says, "Oh my gosh, everybody pass back up your chicken." I didn't cook it all the way done. I just put it in the pan and fried it till the crust was pretty and took it up. And my sister's then husband said he would have ate that chicken if it made him sick. But my dad, it was different. He's really the type, you're either with him or you're not. So at Christmas, when I went to my grandmother's house on that side, he was there. And it was just kind of a pass and a repass type thing. And I'm going to go ahead and tell it. And I hope you don't think bad of me. But things do happen. I became pregnant. And I remember talking to my sister, and I'm like, I think I'm pregnant. She's like, let's take you to the hospital to see. So sure enough, we was. And my mama handled the news fine. So my sister's like, I'm going to call Daddy and tell him. Well, Daddy wanted to talk to me, and he's like, do you know who the daddy is? I said, yep. And said, and he goes, who is it? And I told him, he says, you'll get married. I said, no, I won't. I'm like, I don't have to have a man. You know, honestly, I don't want to go through the same thing that me and Mama went through. You know, when somebody take my baby from me. He goes, you will marry him. I said, I will not. You know, I will not get married just because you sit and tell me that I have to. So anyway, things with my sister, she had come over a lot, and you know, and just kind of getting to know each other and stuff, and things were still a little estranged with my dad. He wasn't with the lady no more. And the things that my sister told me that happened to her after I left, I felt bad, you know, because I wasn't there to protect her, but there was nothing that I could do even when I was there. And, because when I was there, the story of the Tang, before I left to go live with Mom, there was an incident with the Tang. You know, the Tang instant drink. She had made us some of that. Well, her son poured his down the sink. Well, Grug got caught pouring hers down the sink and got in the most trouble over a glass of Tang. I was about screaming and crying myself. I'm like, but he did it too. So at school, my sister, because the teacher, we was in a Christian school, came and got me. She had gotten in touch with my aunts because we was kind of afraid to go back home. But when we got home, they had people from the church there. My dad was sitting there holding the Bible, just like he was having a heart attack. That, you know, that happened, and my sister was thinking about leaving, and people was praying, and just, it was horrible. So that would scare you. You know, you're this young child, and that would just scare me. So I knew, I guess kind of in a way, when I got out of it, I had to be completely out of it. And that phone call was horrible that I had to make. And I'm not even going to say what was told to me, and not by my dad. But she started coming around some, and that was us kind of building up our relationship just a little bit. Different than day and night. That's all I can just say. Different from daylight and dark. And I'm just going to leave it right here. I'll go ahead and probably film part 4. So if y'all see me, I do have different clothes, but I noticed that I wore this same shirt in part 1. But remember, I am not trying to slam anybody in any way. If you're going through something and you need to talk to me, please get in touch with me. I do not mind talking. You know, it's hard to help people when you haven't been through an experience yourself. But I've been there, and I don't mind helping you through it. I've got some cousins kind of going through the same thing right now. That they chose to live with their mom. Now their dad has nothing to do with them. What is wrong with these people? I could never just look at my child and just say, that's it. I worry myself to death when they're at school and stuff. I want my kids. I mean, I don't get it and I don't understand it. And I'm not trying to slam anybody in any way. And I'm sorry if this is kind of long. I do apologize. Thanks for your love. Thanks for your support. And thanks for understanding. And remember, I'm leaving out a lot. And I know I go back and forth. But I'll just leave it at that. And then part 4, I'll try to finish it up. Thanks everyone for watching and showing love. Bye y'all.